A little story I was meant to cover, but I actually forgot, but it does have a little bit of an update to it. There was a chip shop in Scotland who decided to celebrate the Queen's death a little bit too hard and they got into a spot of bother for it. Despicable, the Scots chip shop owner has no regrets after mocking the Queen's death as the windows are smashed by angry mob. I wonder what was the religious proclivity of the people who did that. A chip shop has had its windows smashed after the owner mocked the death of the Queen in a despicable video online. A furious mob surrounded Jackie's fish and chip shop in Muirvord in Inverness for a second night after owner Jackie Pickett shared a sick video celebrating the passing of Her Majesty Elizabeth II on Thursday. Lizard Liz is dead, London Bridge has fallen. What does that say at the bar? Does that say Yas Hoops? If that says Yas Hoops, no wonder she got her fucking window panned. And then there's a video of the picture of the window getting panned. The Gran of Two, born in Germany, popped champagne after Buckingham Palace confirmed born in Germany. I think she'd be really sad at the royal family passing. But anyway, pop champagne after Buckingham Palace confirmed the longest reigning monarch's death at 6:30 p.m. last night. She also held up a chalkboard sign reading "Lizard Liz is dead" and "London Bridge has fallen," accompanied by a smiley face. What's the little bit at the bottom? The takeaway was forced to close on Thursday night after a large crowd gathered to condemn her actions. Police were also called in to disperse the crowd and escort Jackie away from the area for her own safety. Last night, the takeaway opened for 3 hours again before it was forced to close as children gathered outside to sing "God Save the Queen." As she began to fry again, Miss Pickett told the Press and Journal that she has no regrets over sharing her views. When asked if she would like to respond, I think it's meant to say respond to the backlash, she said no comment. Very, very good thing to always say to the police and the press. Later on, there were reports of the takeaway being attacked by people through bricks and rocks. Footage of the windows of the fish and chip shop posted late on Friday night showed the windows of the premises broken and damaged. This comes after the National Federation of Fish Fryers, the Guild. This is the fish Illuminati of Scotland, the National Federation of Fish Fryers, Jesus, decided to revoke the membership of the business, citing the Facebook Live and subsequent social media posts from Jackie as extremely bad taste. What do you lose from that? Are they going to block your access to fish or something like that? Do you not get to come to the secret meeting and wear the robe and sacrifice the fucking sacred halibut or some shit like that? It's this fucking Masonic fish fryer pish. The chip shop closed again at about 7 p.m. yesterday. It is understood it would usually be due to stay open to 9 p.m. It's not known why it closed early. It might be due to lack of business. Councillor Angela McLean, who represents Muirvord, says the incident has sparked real concern in the community. She said it is despicable what she has done. People are really upset about it, not only because she has done this on the death of the Queen, but it is also because they don't want to be associated in any way with her comments. Now, the reason for that is a lot of the Americans don't know, but there is, and I do not have time to explain. Basically, Catholics and Protestants don't get along. They don't get along in Northern Ireland, and a lot of that came over here in Scotland. It's not as bad here as it is in Northern Ireland, but it still exists here. It still exists. I have noticed that it is kind of sort of going away, but it's still there. It's still there. I mean, there was a period where, period in Scotland where me with my last name, Meakin, is an Irish Irish name, descends from Leitrim. Basically, I would find it hard to get a job because I had an Irish last name. That doesn't happen anymore, at least. It doesn't happen anymore to the extent, the vast majority of people don't really care. But there are those out there who do. Uh, there was a time as well where Rangers football team and Celtic football team read for the Yanks. Rangers is for the Protestants and they're aligned with the Queen and all that, and then there's Celtic for the Catholics who are aligned with the Pope. Blah blah blah, and they don't like each other for reasons and stories that I just don't have time to go into. But it's been violent. There's been wars. There's been deaths. There's been killings, bombings, shootings. For a good few centuries now. And it's not as bad as it used to be, but it's still there now, which is why if you are a chip shop owner and you do something like that against the Queen, who is, somewhat important to the Protestants, putting it mildly, you've painted a giant target on your back. Basically, the bricks getting put through the window, yep, I'm not surprised in the slightest that happened. However, I would not be surprised if the chippy gets set on fire, because you've created a target for people to vent their frustrations towards. And that looks like it's what's going to happen. So basically, yeah, saying stuff about the Queen when she's dead, yeah, there's basically some certain tensions are being stoked. Some certain tensions are being stoked currently. They're calming down a little bit now. I think. They are concerned that as residents of Muirvord, because this is all on social media now, the community will be regarded by everyone as being of the same view as her, and they are not. Basically, over in Northern Ireland, you get Catholic and Protestant neighbourhoods. Over here in Scotland, they do exist, but not as much as they do in Northern Ireland. And then you get some just fucking strongholds. you get some strongholds. Like, for example, Lark Hall, where is a very prominent Protestant stronghold where they do not like the colour green. If your shop is green, they will attack your shop. Yeah. Lark Hall is the only place that's got a black Subway sandwiches. See how the green of Subway sandwiches, they couldn't have it there, so it's black. Google it, I'm being serious. That's yep, this stuff is still ever present. And some people, I don't know, it seems like, I don't know, it's the community will be regarded by everyone as being of the same view as her when they are not. Is this the community coming out going, don't worry, we're not Tags. We're not Tags, don't worry. We're as blue-nosed as... We're as blue-nosed and as loyal as everyone. You know, fuck it, I don't know what it is. They are really upset that they will be tarred with the same brush. They don't want to be associated in any way with her comments. Muirvord trended on Twitter for nearly 48 hours following Miss Pickett's social media posts. Miss Pickett appears to have deleted the video from Facebook, however, the internet is forever, but her vile and disrespectful clip has sparked outrage on social media. One said, "Thank you to the local people, safe to say her dump will get shut down." Another fumed, "You do not belong to us, we want you to leave." Meanwhile, a third row Highlanders, by which I mean proper true Highlanders, not just by birth, but the people who chose to live here, are decent gentlefolk respectful of others. I don't know, I would say that this part is what makes you a Highlander, but maybe that's just me. The chip shop has also been inundated with bad reviews. 1 star, Tig. One said, "Dreadful ignorant tube of an owner." Tube, I haven't heard that word in ages. Tube. Jesus, that's an old one. I haven't heard that in high school. "Sincerely hope it fails." A second wrote, "Utterly vile behaviour, shameful and disrespectful." And a third echoed, "Not 1 ounce of respect for anyone or anything except herself. I will never step foot back in your shop again." TripAdvisor have now suspended the ability to leave a review for the business given the outrage. Miss Pickett's shameful video comes after she boasted about receiving an award from King Charles on her website. She said, "As a young mum, I participated in many events and also voluntary works, even doing a parachute jump to raise funds to build a skate park, calling a rent strike to have homes in the area I lived in brought up to standard, and visiting Prince Charles' office in London to receive an award." A Police Scotland spokesperson said shortly after 8:30pm on Friday the 9th of September, officers attended at a business in the Seaforth Road area of Muirvord. Following a report, a large crowd had gathered in the area. Officers remained at the scene to ensure the safety of all present, and the group subsequently dispersed peacefully. However, as you can see, they later returned. Now, obviously, this woman is free to speak her mind and say whatever the hell she wants. She can post that video. I heard that the police looked into her for posting the video under offence laws, but I don't know if anything came of that. But basically, yes, she should absolutely be free to speak. If people want to turn up and protest her business, yep, that is their freedom to do so. Damaging property and physical threats, no, absolutely not. The police should intervene because it's the police's job to protect rights. Unfortunately, they like to infringe upon them more than anything. But yeah, she should be free to speak. However, it's like, in Scotland, there are some things that you need to be fucking careful saying. There are certain songs that you can sing here that will get the shit kicked out of you. Like one of my favourites, and it's about me and my people, is "Why don't you go home? Why don't you go home? The famine is over. Why don't you go home?" Yeah, See if you sing that in the street, that'll get you arrested. If it doesn't get, if you don't get the shit kicked out of you first. Another day, I got in a wee bit of a heated argument outside of here because someone shouted "We are the people" at me. Yeah, it's a tense situation. It's basically like, yes, you should be free to speak, but try and be a bit savvy. For example, I wouldn't walk through Afghanistan shouting "fuck the Taliban," right? Same as I wouldn't walk through Larkhall shouting "fuck the Queen," right? You know, I should be free to say it. However, you know, play stupid games.